Alright, I'm trying a 2-pixel camera here. I'm making a second part. To go with the first video I made on this thing, using the old video cameras. This one's a Canon Powershot A60, 2 megapixel. Gonna see how that works. It doesn't look bad on the screen. Is it even working? Yeah, apparently it is. This is an older camera. This one actually takes 4 AAA batteries. So I was carrying on in the last video about rechargeable batteries on these older cameras, but I don't know. I'll go ahead and hook something up. I know it's hard to watch these videos with the older cameras. The resolution's poor on them, and you're sitting here going, "What the heck am I looking at?" But better me doing this than you. Let's put it that way, because for some reason I have developed a collection of older video or older digital cameras over the years. I've been collecting them or buying them ever since they came out. I've actually got a Fuji camera from like 1997 that was sold to dentists. Doesn't have a viewfinder on it or a screen, and it's only like a 1.2 megapixel camera, but boy, it takes really good pictures. And it's got this humongous memory card that slides into the back, and it was sold to dentists to take pictures of the insides of their patients' mouths. And maybe I'll show that one. That's my favorite camera, probably. I think it was $3,000 when it was new. And when you take a still photo with it, it doesn't have video. The quality for 1.2 megapixel looks equivalent to like an 8 or a 9 megapixel. I'm not sure how they pulled that off. But anyway, I was using all those Kodaks, so I thought I'd break out the Canon. I know there's a lot of Canon fans out there. So we'll see what we can do. I was going to add this to the first video, but then I'd have to take the video down, re-edit it, all that. I just don't feel like doing that because it's kind of a hassle. So let's see how this comes out.
What do you make of that?
All right, I'm using the my cell phone. Supposedly it's at least HD. If it's supposed to be able to shoot in 4K, but I haven't been able to figure out how to get that to work on YouTube yet. But after showing you all these really low resolution old digital cameras, you can see the difference, obviously.
And may only be for a year or two, but I think there's a much higher ceiling with it.
Somebody tried to patch the wood on this with some resin at one point. Hack job. Anyway, I got ESPN on, so I don't get a copyright strike. You see the stereo light slip. It's really hard to get.
I'm not so sure about that. But you're right, that's the downside. In 2 years, you could be left with nothing.
Would they have let Mike White go if they weren't confident that they were getting Aaron Rodgers?
I think they would have made a stronger attempt to keep Mike White. The coaching staff loves him. Locker room loves him. Mike White, I think, would have come back under different circumstances. But where's the opportunity? I mean, they say that Zach Wilson's going to be the backup. I think Mike White makes a clean break. He gets a much better opportunity in Miami. It's his hometown team. He got a good contract, so I think that worked out really well for him.
Very crusty.
Any similarities with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, aside from the obvious ones?
I'm so glad you mentioned that because I've had so many moments of deja vu. I, of course, was covering the Jets during the Favre thing, and the only difference really was the calendar. Back then, it was like late July.
Why do I
early
need
August,
another sports channel? All I want to do is listen to music, but I can only get like 3 music stations here. And then they went ahead and put another ESPN channel on here. Oh my gosh. There's like 8 religious channels, 6 or 7 country, 3 ESPN, 2 NPRs. And you know how much I love NPR. National Propaganda Radio. I don't understand. How can the government, well, I guess I can't understand. We're paying for NPR, National Public Radio, and they are so freaking biased, you can't listen to it. And every time they come up with the news every hour, the first thing that comes out of the speakers is Trump. Trump this, Trump that. Evil. And now it's DeSantis. I live in Florida, and they're really picking on DeSantis. Well, what about Schumer? What about Pelosi? What about, and let's not, what about our president? Isn't there enough to talk about with that? My gosh. And this morning, all this on the news is the banks are failing. So every day you just want to pull a rope out and put it around your neck. You know what I mean? Anyway, gotta throw a rant in there. People like rants. I know that. I have a lot of issues. I'm married to the most understanding woman in the world. I keep calling her saint. She hates it because she's like understanding about everything. Every time anything, she's like, well, maybe this happened or maybe they're doing that. I'm like, no, we're being led down the garden path. Anyway, if you ever get one of these boom boxes, good luck. They're really kind of cool. I happened to luck out on this about 10 years ago. Somebody was selling it on eBay for $20. And it was like, back then you could have something this large shipped for about $12. If you tried to ship this thing now, easily cost you $80. Now, what does that tell you about the post office? I don't know. You get stuff shipped in from Amazon or Walmart. Like, I actually order cat litter online. And what does a box of cat litter weigh? 20 pounds, 25 pounds? Free shipping. For an $8, $9 box of cat litter. If I tried to ship this through the post office, $80. And that doesn't even guarantee it gets there in one piece. You'd have to literally double box it to where you could drop it off a 6-story building. And it might get there in one piece. And there was a time I sold a lot of stuff on eBay back in the early to mid 2000s. It was a whole different thing. I remember you could leave feedback for people, for sellers, not for sellers, for buyers. So if somebody left you negative feedback, you turn around and leave them negative feedback, and it kind of kept the drama down. But now you can't do that. So if you sell on eBay, you're in morbid fear of getting that notification dot on your screen, and they're like, has question about the item, and it's like, or has requested a return. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't accept returns. Because when you sell old crap like this, you're not, how do you guarantee it? You're like, yeah, it works when I shipped it to you, but they're like, no. I actually had, well, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. I'm sure you've heard all the eBay stories. It's all true. All right, I'm going to cut this one off. This is all very rambling and incoherent, but I don't have many friends. Well, here's the Canon I just used and probably shouldn't be trying to put it up against the light there, but I actually like this little camera. It's plastic, but it's heavy. I've actually got some of the older than this Canons that were made out of aluminum or steel, and they have really weird batteries in them that you can't get anywhere. I've tried to look for them. And they're not even in existence, so you can't run. I'd have to cobble up some kind of a, I don't know, maybe I'll try to do that, because I found this thing at the thrift store about a month ago that is made for old digital cameras. That's got all these different power heads on it for the connectors. It's got some rechargeable battery inserts. I don't know. So you can at least run it as a power supply. Anyway, showing you this. You guys are probably more interested in the cameras at this point than you are about this Magnavox, but we'll just keep chunking along. Maybe something will be interesting. In case anybody's interested, these are the 4 cameras I've used so far for the last 2 videos. Here's the Kodak DX7630. There's the Kodak EasyShare C1450. There's the Canon Powershot A60. And there is the Vivitar Series 1. Ooh, it's a pretty camera though. I actually bought this one when it was brand new. Still have the box for it. Alright.